Ciao everyone and welcome back to a new episode of Learn Italian with Songs. Today we are going to talk about the song that ranked 6th at the Sanremo Music Festival 2025. I am talking about La Cura per me by Giorgia. Now, we'll have many things to say about this song, also because due to the ranking, many discussions, we had many discussions going on in Italy, but we are going to talk about this towards the end, as usual. Now it's time to talk about the meaning and the lyrics of the song. So, as usual, let's start from the translation, the explanation of the title, La cura per me. In this case, the literal translation is the cure for me. But what's the theme of this song? As usual, I went and read some articles, and pretty much this was the most relevant thing the singer said about the song. La cura per me is a song that tells about a search through a very strong feeling, therefore also an awareness of strength of this feeling and also of moments of fear, moments of deep loneliness. Therefore, it is also a surrender to what one feels. But with this final coda, so the end of the song, that leads to a transformation of that feeling, that is to the hope that even when one feels alone and lost, one can heal oneself through the strength of a feeling and through oneself. Now, I understand it's not clear also because one of the issues of spoken interviews is that Italian can be built on the moment, let's say like that. So often people start a sentence, then start another one, and when you already it is hard to understand in Italian. I read several quotes, several mentions, explanation of the singer, and the issue is that coming from oral interviews, they were quite hard to translate, and in this one was no exception. So, to put it simple, the song talks about love as a feeling. Even better, the feeling of being loved as opposed to feeling alone. However, we'll see that in the lyrics, the song ends with a transformation, with an evolution of this feeling, which is basically the protagonist, the singer, explaining how she went through several experiences, several feelings. She had very low moments where she felt alone, abandoned, but in the end, she managed to overcome this issue, this feeling of loneliness. And that's why this is how we could explain what is the cure mentioned in the title and also in the lyrics. So the ability of healing from the conviction that we need someone to be enough and not feel alone, because in the end loneliness it is not as much related to other people as we might think. In fact, there are plenty of people who do not feel lonely even if they are alone. Okay, so another little thing, before the start of Sanremo Music Festival, all the lyrics of the song participating in the contest are released, and as I explained in other instances, I read some reviews concerning just the lyrics. I do agree with one of these reviews saying, I am sure that Giorgia will present an incredible performance. And in fact, it is what happened. I think the song is beautiful because Giorgia as an artist is simply incredible. But if we check the lyrics, as I'm going to show you, they are not great, okay? The lyrics are not written by Giorgia, they are written by Blanco, who also participated in the making of many lyrics of the Sanremo Music Festival, but many criticize the fact that these lyrics wasn't at the level of Giorgia. And in fact, many said with better lyrics, the song would have been higher in the ranking. And I personally do agree with that. So I'm going to show you now what I mean. Let's start with the intro. Dentro la mano una carezza sul viso. Inside the hand a caress on the visage. Good start. I actually appreciated this metaphor, this expression, because it is a nice image. Senz'anima questo sorriso. Without soul or soulless, this smile. Here we can start seeing the problem that will be presented in the lyrics, which is the need of affection, which is not provided in the end. That's why without soul, this smile, because clearly there's no happiness without it. It's like a fake smile. Che hai cercato, that you looked for. Che hai cercato, that you look for. Of course, we are talking about the smile. Più ti avvicini e più mi allontano. The closer you get and the farther I get or I go. E i ricordi se ne vanno piano, and the memories go away slowly. Su e giù come un ascensore, up and down like an elevator, ogni mia stupida emozione. Every my stupid emotion of mine. Now, the start. It is quite poetic. I was quite happy about the intro, but there is one thing that ruins it. Su e giù come un ascensore ogni mia stupida emozione, which is a metaphor representing the roller coaster of emotions, literally speaking, like an elevator going up and down. Me? I have to say this image compared to the poem vibe seen until now, a bit disappointing, ruined, I don't know, this thing about the elevator ruined a bit my mood, but okay. And then we have the pre-chorus, e no, non cambierà, and no, it won't change. Dirti una bugia o la verità. Tell you a lie or the truth. Per me fare una follia, for me doing something crazy, è come la normalità. It's like normality. It's something normal. Now, fare una follia is a collocation, if we want to put it like that, in Italian, which literally translates as to make, to do, because we don't have really the distinction between to make and to do. We only have fare, which is to do a folly. I translated it as doing something crazy because it was easier to understand, but literally is to do a folly, to make a folly. So we already have the idea that the relationship is not doing good. There is fakeness, there is distance between the partners, there are lies, it is an unhealthy relationship. Basically, what we have described here is unhealthy relationship because we have normality described as doing something crazy. Follia, it can be also something dangerous. So this part was well put. Then we have the chorus. Non so più quante volte ti ho cercato. I don't know how many times I've looked for you. Per quegli occhi che fanno da luna. For or in, I'm going to explain, those eyes, for those eyes that act as the moon. In Italian, we have an expression which can be structured in several ways, and it is fare da. Okay, the best translation I could use is to act as, because many expressions in Italian with this formula are translated in English with the verb. So, for example, fare da modella or fare da modello in English is just modeling, okay? Because it means that you are doing or representing what comes next. In this case, fare da luna, it means that the eyes are like a moon, okay? And as I promised, why I put as the translation for or in? Because in Italian, specifically in this expression, in this construction, per can mean both for or in. What do I mean? It can mean the cause. So, I've looked for you because of those eyes that were my moon, okay? Which might represent the light in the darkness, the hope in the darkest moments. But it can also mean in those eyes, because per, in certain specific expression, can also mean how to say in, through. So looking in those eyes that were my moon, because you can look for someone in their eyes, because it is a sort of metaphor used to say that you are trying to see what they are thinking, okay? I want to give credit to Blanco and think that he used per due to this double meaning. So it can mean at the same time that the artist, the protagonist, is looking for the eyes of the loved one, because they represent the moon, because their eyes are like the moon in the darkness, the light in the darkness, but also looking for the lover behind their eyes, like a little bit to look into their souls, into their mind, to see if they are still there with you, ok? Non so più quante notti, the first time it was volte, this time is notti, ti ho aspettato. I don't know how many nights I've waited for you. Per finire a ingoiare tutta la paura. To end up swallowing all the fear. Di rimanere sola. Sola is feminine. Of remaining alone. Or we can also say of ending up alone. Ok. In questa stanza buia, in this dark room, solo tu sei la cura. Only you are the cure for me. Sorry, per me, for me. Now, the chorus is built in an interesting way. The first time I read it, I was like, okay, classic love song. I miss you very much. You are the light in my darkness. You are here with me when I am alone. And if you are not here with me, I feel alone and whatnot. This is what you might think at first sight, okay, as a first impression. But more I listened to the song and read the lyrics, more I started to develop a different feeling about it, which is as follows. The cure, in this case, in this second case I see, is not the lover giving love, but the absence of the lover. So, what's the meaning? We have the protagonist, the artist. The artist spent many, many nights waiting for the lover. And they waited so much and felt so alone and scared that at certain point they were kinda forced to understand that they actually didn't need the lover. That's why I'm saying, at first glance, you might think, oh, okay, you are the cure because you are with me, because you keep me company, because I don't feel alone with you, and so on. But if you read with more attention, it is more, since you abandon me, since our relationship doesn't work and hurt me, thanks to this experience, I understood that I don't need someone else. Thanks to your flaws and the fact that you are not adequate as a partner, I realized that I am enough for myself. So you are the cure because you are so bad, you made me realize that I am enough to myself. This is what I see. And it is well built because also with the rhythm, it reminds a lot the classic love song. So it can be quite immediate to think, oh, okay, you are the cure because you love me. But actually, if you pay attention, the point of the song is that the artist, the singer, the protagonist is saying, we don't love each other. Our relationship doesn't work. And since our relationship doesn't work, this made me realize I am enough for myself. So you are the cure because you are so bad. I realized I don't really need you or anyone else. And then we have the verse 1. Tutto passa, everything passes, ma scordarti non so ancora come si faccia. But forgetting you, I still don't know how to do it. I use this tricky sentence structure to try to show you how the Italian sentence is built. Because scordarti, which is like to forget you, here is the subject. Here the meaning is I still don't know how to forget you. Okay, this is the meaning. I just twisted the order a bit to try to match the Italian construction so it is more evident for you. Qualcosa lo dovevo rovinare. Something I had to ruin it. Again, the meaning is I had to ruin something. I just tweaked a bit the construction of the sentence, even in English, to try to give you the idea of how the Italian sentence is built. Nascondo una lacrima nel mare, ferito. I did this pause because in the song we have this pause. I hide a tear in the wounded sea, where wounded is ferito, ferito is masculine like the sea. Again, until now, we had the little problem in the pre-chorus, or in the intro. What was it? It was in the intro. We had the little issue in the intro, pre-chorus and chorus good. Start of the first verse good, and then we have I hide a tear in the wounded sea. Cheesy. Didn't appreciate this as much. Voglio andare avanti all'infinito. I want to go on forever. And here the line me and other people didn't really appreciate because it kinda again ruins the mood of the poetic nature of the lyrics. Trovarti dentro gli occhi di un cane smarrito. Find you inside the eyes of a lost dog. Meh? Could have been better, Blanco, to be honest. I know you can do better. So, this first verse, I still don't know how to forget you. Okay, not the first time I hear it, but the rest, meh. Anyway, we start with an intro telling us that the relationship is not doing good, is not in a good situation. And in the first verse, we understand that the couple broke up. However, the protagonist of the story is still in that period where you have to learn how to overcome the relationship and mainly the breakup. Then we have once again the pre-chorus. E no, non cambierà. And no, it won't change. Dirti una bugia o la verità. Tell you a lie or the truth. Per me fare una follia, for me doing something crazy, è come la normalità. It's like normality. Then we have again the chorus. Non so più quante volte ti ho cercato. I don't know how many times I've looked for you. Per quegli occhi che fanno da luna. For, or in, those eyes for those eyes that act as the moon. Non so più quante notti ti ho aspettato. I don't know how many nights I've waited for you. per finire a ingoiare tutta la paura, to end up swallowing all the fear, di rimanere sola, of remaining alone, in questa stanza buia, in this dark room. Solo tu sei la cura, only you are the cure, per me, for me. Then we have the second verse. No, che non ho voglia. No, I don't feel like it. In Italian, literally speaking, is I don't have the willpower, as in I don't want to, ok? Non ho voglia di rincorrerti. I don't feel like chasing you. Non avere voglia di always is always built like this. So, non avere, verb, voglia di, the di of is very important. So, remember, I don't feel like, non ho voglia di. Do not forget the di. So, non ho voglia di rincorrerti, I don't feel like chasing you, and then implied I don't feel like, seguire la tua ombra e salire fino sugli alberi, following your shadow and climbing up the trees. Again, good start, good seguire la tua ombra. I really like this image because it gives you the idea that when we have a breakup, we chase after what's left of our partner. We're not really chasing our partner, but the idea of the partner we had during the relationship. So we are more likely chasing, following a shadow. And again, climbing up the trees. Why? Why? I didn't like this. Guardando il cielo sapendo che lo stai guardando. Looking at the sky, knowing you are looking at it. Ora anche tu. Now you too. So, all together would be guardando il cielo, sapendo che lo stai guardando ora anche tu. Looking at the sky, knowing you are looking at it, now you too. Me? I don't know. This thing about we are watching the same sky together. It's like very Instagram, a bit basic. This verse is a bit meh. Then we have a beautiful bridge. Lyrics-wise, it's quite simple, but for me, I like a lot this part, musically speaking. Per me sei la luna. For me, you are the moon. The light during the night, the light in the night, in the darkness. Per me sei la cura. For me, you are the cure. Per me sei avventura. Per me, for me, you are adventure. Ma non sei nessuno. So here we have the transformation. But you are nobody. Spengo la paura. I turn off the fear. Di rimanere sola. Of remaining alone. So here we are talking about the coda we were talking in the introduction, where we have the change of mind, the evolution, the ability to overcome the breakup. So you are my light in darkness, you are the cure, because thanks to you I realized I don't need anyone. Per me sei avventura, for me you are adventure, ma non sei nessuno, but you are nobody. Spengo la paura, I turn off the fear, di rimanere sola, of remaining alone, of being alone, of ending up alone. And then we have the conclusion of the story, which is a reference to the chorus. Per quegli occhi che fanno da luna, for those eyes that act as a moon, that are my moon. Non so più quante notti ho aspettato. I don't know how many nights I've waited. I misread, because in this case it is not anymore ti ho aspettato, but I don't know how many nights I waited, per finire a ingoiare tutta la paura, to end up swallowing all the fear, di rimanere sola, of remaining alone, of being alone. In questa stanza buia, in this dark room, non sarò mai più sola. I'll never be alone again. Per me, for me. Which is a very good ending, because we see the story of a relationship that is not in good health at the beginning. We have a breakup. In the verse 1, we have all the work, all the effort to learn how to overcome the breakup, that continues in the verse 2 and then ends in the bridge, and in the bridge between the verse 2 and the outro, showing the conclusion of the story, which is I learn that I am not lonely even if I am alone. So this positive idea of being alone, of being enough to yourself, because in the end it's alone, so outside of a romantic relationship, not like alone. Okay, and that was everything I had to say for the lyrics. Now it is that time of the day where we talk about the drama behind it, and believe me when I say we had a lot about this. So, picture this. Sanremo Music Festival 2025. We are about to start with the festival. The lyrics are out, the lyrics of the songs. The Fanta Sanremo is ongoing. People start to create their teams. And actually, Giorgia is among the favorites, like not only for the fun, but also for Sala Stampa, so like the press, the radio, and whatnot. So, actually, she was in the top for the bets and whatnot. Like, many people believe that she could actually win, could have actually won the festival. Now, we have the first night. She is in the top 5. She sings also in the second night, because Sanremo this year was divided in the following way. First night, everyone sings. Second and third night, the first half of the singer sings, and then the second half of the singers perform. Then we had the fourth night with the cover night, and she participated with a cover of Skyfall by Adele in collab with Annalisa, the performance. And then once again, the last night, Friday night, all the singer performed. She did good in all the nights she performed. During all the nights she performed. So everyone was basically sure she would have maybe not won, but at least ended up in top 5. Okay. Now, during Sanremo, I formed a conviction. Several, actually. The first conviction was that the three songwriters, so Lucio Corsi, Bruno Risas, and Simone Cristicchi, I was sure 100% they were about to end up in top 5. Because the radios, because the sala stampa, so the press, love songwriters, because songwriters are the essence of Italian music. We have a history of songwriters, so they are loved. And I was like, yeah, those three, top 3, for sure, 10 out of 10, loving them, makes sense. I wasn't that happy about Simone Cristicchi, as I said when I did the analysis about his song. But I knew he would have been there because it's the privilege of the songwriters. Don't get me wrong, the songs were all great. To be fair, Bruno Risas, rightfully so, won won the awards for the lyrics, and the lyrics of his song are my absolute favorite in this edition of the festival. Lucio Corsi, great. As I said, I'm actually happy he's going to represent us during Eurovision Song Contest 2025. Cristicchi, I was like, understandable, like, I'm not surprised. So, top 5, we have 2 other spots. I was sure about Olli. Olli is very genuine, very loved, he has a great fan base. It made sense, okay, having part, like, he is a good representative for Italian Gen Z. And I'm not saying this as an insult, like, I'm actually quite happy he was in top 5. Because he's also part of what Italian music is right now. So, for sure the 3 songwriters, for sure Olli. What about the last one? Because the top 5 was made by 5. In my opinion, Giorgia should have been there. Okay. Maybe 4th place. I would given her a 4th place because, once again, her performance, her voice are over the top. Like, she is like we love to say in Italian, può cantarmi anche la lista della spesa. She can even sing my grocery shop, and it would be awesome. But the lyrics, I mean, a bit average, because the issue of these lyrics, they are good, well thought, but they are a roller coaster of emotions, but not in a good way. There are certain images the song is giving me, the lyrics is giving me, that are beautiful, poetic. And then there are others, like, kind of spoiling the mood of the song, like the lost dog, the elevator. Meh. So, in the end, who did we have in the top 5 instead of Giorgia? Because just like in 2024, we had the Mahmoud scandal because Mahmoud was presented himself with Tuta Gold. I would have sent him to the Eurovision if you ask me. It was very Eurovision. And I'm saying this keeping in mind that my favorite song was actually La Noia. I was actually very happy she went to the Eurovision. I was very happy about Angelina Mango being our representative in 2024. However, Tuta Gold with the whole dance, very TikTok, would have been great. Anyway, but having Mahmoud sixth place, it was a blasphemy, objectively speaking. And it is kind of the same thing with Giorgia, because let's be honest, I prefer the performance, lyrics, music of La Cura per me by Giorgia to Quando sarai piccola by Simone Cristicchi. If Simone Cristicchi ended up fifth, Giorgia should have been at least fourth. Instead, at the fourth place, we had Fedez. Now, I don't think that I would have preferred La Cura per me instead of Battito. The issue is that Battito is much more TikTok-ish, is more mainstream, and I have to be honest with you. If La Cura per me would have been sung by a man, for example, Marco Mengoni, and we didn't have the whole drama about Fedez, his ex-wife, the cheating, he wouldn't been there. Like, having the same song with different performer in a different year would have been in top 3 probably. I am very honest about it. I have no problems. So yeah, the song is clean. The performance was amazing. The theme also, because guys, this is not the basic love song, okay? We are talking about fighting against codependency, basically. The ability to feel good with yourself despite being outside of relationship. And don't tell me that this is not an actual theme nowadays, because it is a problem. Think about San Valentine. Like, it is quite funny because it was around San Valentine, this song, and I'm sure that just like Cuoricini, many people will put the La Cura per me in their reels, TikToks and whatnot about the boyfriend or the girlfriend. I would not. I would advise against it, because the whole point of the song is being able to feel good with yourself even when you are alone. Okay, the distinction between being alone and being lonely, it is perfectly fine to not be in a relationship. Even better, it is better to be outside, like to not be in a relationship than to be in a bad relationship, because a relationship that makes you feel bad all the time damages your mental health. So at this point, better alone. In Italian we say meglio soli che mal accompagnati, which literally translate as better alone that bad accompanied. Okay. So the theme is quite on point with nowadays society. However, it was less direct than depression was less marketable that depression in Fedet's song. Like, I have nothing against Fedez because I don't care about the whole gossip. I don't have anything against Battito. On the contrary, I like the song. But the performance, the music, the poetry of La Cura for me is better than Battito. Again, it is a matter of taste, I guess. So yeah, it was just a bit disappointing. Then we had a lot of discussion because, for example, Elodie went full on rampage, like she went against the press saying, you said for the whole festival that she was the best, and then what did you do? You betrayed her trust and decided to praise the songwriters just because they are songwriters. Not even one person on the podium, not even one woman, I was about to say female person, not even one woman on the podium. You are all liars. Like, like, go watch Elodie going on a rampage because it's very satisfying. And while I think that some things she said were more from due to the rage, because they weren't actual good criticisms. But in a certain way, I kind of understand her point. It Elodie reminded me a bit like where was Gondor when it was time to give points to Giorgia for the Sanremo podium. So yeah, I understand. Objectively, we spent a lot. I read a lot about, oh my God, Giorgia is the best. She's a queen. She's fantastic. Oh my God. And then sixth place. I would have swapped Fedez and Giorgia would have been okay for me. However, as I was saying, around the third night, I started to see that Giorgia, we wouldn't have Giorgia in top 5 because Fedez was getting so much attention. Like, his song was getting so much attention on social media that I legit thought Giorgia is not going to be in top 5. And in fact, is what happened. Because, of course, being a content creator, what I do during the festival, I read articles, I check the social rankings, so how much listened to are the songs of Sanremo on Spotify, on YouTube Music, on YouTube Trending, because I have my trending page set on Italy just to check what's up. And I saw that the song of that Battito, the song by Fedez, was gaining a lot of traction. So in that moment, I realized no Giorgia on the podium. So that said, we'll see next year who will be condemned to the sixth place unfairly. we can make bets at the start of the next of the next Sanremo. But yeah, this was pretty much what I think about this song. The live didn't last as much as the other lives, but because in the end, the lyrics is quite clean. This song is much more about the performance Giorgia delivered, which is amazing, just amazing. Okay, that said, remember to let me know in the comments what you think about the lyrics, the song, the performance, the whole drama. That said, grazie everyone for watching and arrivederci.